Hey everyone, so today we have a Troy-built lawnmower, 6 3/4 horsepower. The customer says that they believe it has no spark because they put some starting fluid in there and the throat of the carburetor and it wouldn't start, and there's been fuel in there for a little bit of time. So something I wanted to bring up beforehand is, before I did anything, before I started to look at stuff, there was a bail on the handle. This is the bail. It was broken. So I don't think it was actually completely engaging the kill. Looks like I have a couple people, so I'll make this quick. So what I did is I replaced this. I put a new cable on there because I have an extra one, and I want to see if the coil is actually bad, because they said it's no spark. But if you don't pull the cable enough, it won't actually stop it from grounding itself out, and it will look like you have no spark. So let me go ahead and figure out. Okay, so everything's down. No filter. Okay, that's not good. So let's just pull it to see what happens. Maybe you will go on itself. Now, I did put a new cable, like I said, and a new bail handle, so all that's taken care of. So when we pull it down, everything is good to go. Let's give it a pull. And it's an auto choke, so if it did, that probably should have been going already. There is gas in there, not much, but there's enough. Let's give it a spray, some fluid. And remember, when you do this, you want to make sure to spray behind the choke plate, otherwise it will not probably even go in the carburetor. Okay, there it is. So, I'm going to go ahead and jack it back up and bring you back. We'll take off that carburetor. Okay, so here's something I want to bring up while I do this. I know literally nothing about being an electrician. That's just not my thing. I know enough to maybe wire an outlet in the house, change a few lights fixtures, normal household items. What I don't have any idea is how to work on fuse boxes or anything like that. So when those times come, I pay an electrician because they do. I bring that up because of this. I have a lot of these machines you see on here are not mine. They are people who brought them to me because they saw or heard from me on the internet, or a friend, or one friend tells their friend tells theirs, so on and so on. And so a lot of these are not mine. I hear a story a lot about, oh, it just needs a spark plug, it just needs this, it just needs that, and usually it's not right. And the reason why, because these people just don't know. Just like I don't know how to do stuff with electricity, some of these people don't know about their mowers, and there's nothing wrong with that. So the point of the rant, I suppose, is when I was told this had no spark, always double check to see if the simple things are there. Because if you don't, you can easily run into a time like this, and maybe you bought parts you didn't need to, maybe everything's fine, and you just have to do some type of simple adjustment. There's a lot of different things. So always kind of double check. I almost never actually, I don't want to say believe, but kind of not recreate the problem. Because if I could recreate the problem, I can definitely know how to fix it. That spring has seen springier days, but it's not bad. So if you do this, just kind of go over the easy parts of it, and it's almost never the spark plug, which you'll remember that too. That's something else I want to bring up. But anyway, point was just always kind of recreate a problem if you're ever going to be working on someone else's machine. Something I do want to bring up as well. This is the coil. It is the part that sits right about here beneath this cover, and the flywheel spins, and on the flywheel there is a magnet, and that magnet causes the spark. And if we were going to be replacing that, which was, that's a good $18, $20, $25, $30 piece depending on the motor, you take a feeler gauge, we would find 10/1000ths of an inch or a millimeter, just 10/1000ths, and put that in between this point, and then tighten down these two screws. And at that point you would have a gap, enough gap to allow this to function properly. If you have too much, it won't function. If it gets too close, it will rub, because when this spins, it shouldn't be spinning faster than 3,500 RPMs, or 3,600 actually. But stuff can grow, so we want a little of a gap, especially when it gets hot. It is aluminum, so probably won't be getting hot, but the temperature changes throughout the year, and you just want to have these tolerances. So make sure 10/1000ths. People can usually end up doing something with a business card. That's fine. Just make sure there's a gap. I just use the feeler gauge just so I can make sure that the gap is what it needs to be. But as long as it works, hey, I'm not the boss of you. That's just me. Okay. A little gas is probably going to fall out, but that's fine. I take one bolt out, I take the other one out, because if you take out both bolts, the carburetor will come out, and it's just a lot harder to take the fuel line off. Put that in our drain. And yet again, plastic on the throttle, so be very careful. Just kind of walk it off with your fingers. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and take this over to the carburetor station. Okay, here we are. Loosen, 1/2 inch. If you get like a cheaper one on the internet, sometimes it's like 14 millimeter, I think, maybe 12. I think it's 14. But this one, if you get one off your machine, should be 1/2 inch, at least for the Briggs. Tecumseh, same thing, should be about 1/2 inch. Honda is 10 millimeter. That is dirty. No way that was going to run. There we go. Ooh. Oh, wow. Fresh gas a few months ago. That is gone. We'll get a new one of those. That bull. I don't know if... Let's... That back. We're going to take off this little gasket, because we're going to put this into the ultrasonic cleaner. Oh man, that's kind of rough. I'm not going to put that in there or take it off. Take the pin out, put that in there. Ugh. Even the needle doesn't want to come off. Like, you literally have to pull it off. Put that there. The inside of it is green. Okay, so I always reference an ultrasonic cleaner. If you don't have one, you'd think you might be doing this in the future, or for anything else, buy one. You could buy cheaper ones for like $40. If you have any type of yard equipment, it's just invaluable piece of equipment or machinery for that type of thing. If not, carbon choke cleaner will be your friend. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the cleaner, get a new gasket, and drain the fuel, because this is what came out of the bowl. Let's take you in here. Not the greatest. So let's go ahead and put that in the cleaner, and I will bring it back once it's done. Wow, that I don't want to say was the worst jet I've ever seen, but it took a long time to clean that out. It was just plugged solid. But this is finally done. Let us take a clean towel. Just dry this off. There we go. And then let's take the needle and do the same. I get all the grimy stuff off of it. Pretty nice. Put the needle in the slot. Already fitting better. And the needle in there. Here's the pin. Goes straight through. There we are. And let's do the test. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And take this out. So this one was definitely in a more dire need than others. So what we're going to do is those little slots or holes drilled in there for the pin, I'm going to take one of these, probably a smaller one, probably like this one, and just kind of, I don't know, lack of a better term, ream it. Just really get it clean in there. Maybe get the next size up. Probably this one. It might be too big, actually. Yeah, it's too big. And let's work a little more with this one. Because if you don't do this, the needle will actually, or the needle won't travel because the float gets stuck, and because the pin is actually stuck too. Now let's do the same thing for the carburetor, or for the float. And you don't want that because that would just cause it to leak. Let's try this again. That actually looks pretty clean though. So I don't think it's anything to do with the pin. And it went through the cleaner. There we go. That already feels better. Try this again. Okay. That's better. So now, put the new bowl gasket on there. Try not to wrinkle it. Make sure it's on there straight. There we go. Put the bowl on. Put the new gasket on the jet. Make sure we're not cross-threading the jet. That's weird. And there we are. Remember, tight, but not super tight. And air, nothing. Okay, let's put this back on and I'll meet you back over on the machine. Okay, so while you guys were gone, new spark plug, oil's still good. I'll probably change it anyway, but I wanted to run a little bit. I emptied out all the gas. Put the throttle back on first. That's the hard one. There we go. Oh. Three-eighths. There we are. Oh, phone call. Okay, so where were we? Dinner came and went. Putting the screw on, so let's do that. There we go. So this is the annoying part. This little lever likes to get out of, I guess, like sequence. So you just want to make sure you put it on right. I don't like how that feels. Okay. There we go. And we put the little spring on. That spring. That little tab seems like it's a little bent. Let's find something over here to kind of unbend it. Maybe a pair of pliers will help. There we go. Put this back on, the little tab, and there we are. Closed, open, closed, open. Next, the gasket's on the back of this plate for the carburetor. Oh, we're jumping ahead of ourselves. Let's put the fuel line back on. There we go. And then the fuel clip back on. Vent hose back on. Now we're ready. And the third one. Uh-oh, I'm down to my last filter. Perfect. Little rant on where I live. I live in an area that's kind of cut off, so the people that live here, it's just like a dead end, and you really don't ever have to come down this area unless you live here. we don't connect anything. The main road that even comes here doesn't really connect to anything, so people like to walk. So if you hear voices in the background, that's the reason why. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is put everything away, put it down, put some gas in there, and then we will see what happens. Okay, recap. New cable, new filter, new gas, and new bail handle. We haven't done the oil yet, but I have the oil pump ready. I just want to let it run for a moment or two so it gets nice and warm. You don't really want to change your oil cold because there's a lot of just crap on the bottom of the case. So you just want to let it run a little bit, get the sludge going, and then you can tip it over to the side or pump or take the bolt off the bottom of it if you have one. So let's make sure everything's still dry. Yep. Okay. Moment of truth. Let's give it a pull. Okay, there you go. So what I'm going to do now is put it outside, put the handle down with the clamp. Actually, probably first I'll sharpen the blade. And yeah, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do that. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything, definitely feel free to comment, but definitely subscribe, and I will see everyone later. Bye.